Today we're talking tiny, tiny little shoes for those kid crushers out there. Let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about children's climbing shoes. So there are two main types of children's climbing shoes out there. Comfy introductory ones like the Boreal Ninja Junior. Or for those comp climbing proteges out there, we have performance children's climbing shoes, like the Drago Kids right here. So depending on how old your climber is, they might be going through quite a considerable growth spurt. So you probably don't want to be investing in footwear that's super tight for them, because they'll grow out of it before the shoe's even seen a little bit of wear. We do really appreciate that fitting children's climbing shoes can be quite difficult, so if you're really having trouble, please feel free to book an appointment and visit us here at our showroom. This also leads on to our first very important part of fitting advice for children. Even though adults might be wanting to downsize their climbing shoes to get the most performance out of them, with children's climbing shoes we almost want the opposite. We want to ensure that there's plenty of room firstly for growth. We also want to make sure that we're not harming their development or damaging their feet at all. So having a reasonably generous or even slightly baggy shoe is really not a bad thing to start with a little asterisk of we still want it to be able to do its job of helping them climb and feel secure on the wall, because we certainly don't want them slipping off, but we want a generous fit with those considerations of growth and comfort certainly at the forefront of your mind. Thankfully, some manufacturers have thought of this. With the Boreal Ninja Junior, they actually come with a strap at the back of the shoe to adjust the volume a little bit, and with a big Velcro tab over the top of the foot. Again, lots of adjustability in terms of volume there to allow the shoe to grow with your child, which I think is a great little feature. As you can imagine, moving on to performance children's shoes, that's where the fit gets really complicated. And that's almost down to where you want to draw the line, because personally, I want to ensure that your child is comfortable and has a great time climbing. And that might mean being in a shoe that is a bit more aggressive to help advance their development. But the shapes of performance shoes are going to be a bit more specific, and there's not really that many of them on the market. So you want to make sure that the shoe really suits your child's foot before investing. The Drago Kids has some fantastic features like an excess grip 2 compound on the bottom and a slight downturn for slightly more aggressive terrain, and a big old toe patch round the toes. So for the kid crushers out there, it's a fantastic little tool to have underfoot. But as mentioned in previous episodes, you want to make sure both the shape and the size is appropriate for their foot. My advice would be to go for a reasonably snug fit with a little bit of space left in there for growth. If your child is super keen and suits the shoe and it gives them a new confidence when they're on the wall, then it might be worth investing in a pair. But I would urge you to consider whether it's a real relevant product for them or not. If it's the difference between getting more sessions indoors or potentially some coaching, then those investments might yield a higher return for their progress. But that's for you to decide. I'm just here to tell you about children's climbing shoes. Oh, hello there. If you're really enjoying yourself, why not hit the like and subscribe button down below? It's a really good way of helping support the channel. Anyway, back to the video. Now the question that's certainly worth posing is, does my child need brand new climbing shoes? And the answer is no. There's quite a wide second-hand market out there for climbing shoes. Yes, there are certain factors you want to consider in terms of wear and certainly hygiene. But if you're a family, we certainly understand that at the moment things can be quite tight. So looking out there to see if there are any second-hand models available might be worthwhile just to get them started. So to recap, we've talked about comfortable children's climbing shoes and we've talked about performance children's climbing shoes. When fitting any of them, you want to consider how much are they going to grow, how comfortable they are, can they be adjusted, and are they relevant for where your child is in their climbing journey right now. Any footwear that gets your little one climbing and feeling confident and comfortable gets a thumbs up from me. So that rounds us up for episode 4 on children's climbing shoes. If you'd like to learn a little bit more, I've got some video recommendations coming up.